Steve Jobs once said, "Intuition is a very powerful thing, more powerful than intellect." Welcome to the journey of understanding this powerful tool within us. Often in a world that prioritizes reason and logic, the soft whisper of intuition is drowned out. It's the hushed voice that speaks to us during moments of decision-making, also referred to as gut feeling, the quiet nudge that prompts us towards or away from certain paths. Yet we frequently dismiss it, favoring rationale over instinct. But what if we started paying more attention to this internal compass? There's a spiritual dimension to this as well. Many believe that intuition, that is gut feeling, is a God-given gift, a divine guidance system if you will, that helps us navigate through the complexities of life. It's like an internal GPS, constantly recalibrating to keep us on the right track. It's not about predicting the future or having psychic abilities. Instead, it's about being in tune with ourselves and our environment, noticing the subtle signs and signals that can guide us. Intuition, gut feeling, or an inner voice, whatever you may call it, it's that subtle nudge that often guides us in the right direction. There are countless examples of people who have been saved by their intuition. Let's delve into some of them. Our first testimony comes from a man who worked in the World Trade Center during the time of the 9/11 attack. On that fateful day, he woke up with a strong gut feeling that something was off. He couldn't quite put his finger on it, but he decided to trust his instinct and not go to work. As the day unfolded, he realized that his intuition had potentially saved his life. Next, we have a similar story from a woman who was also supposed to be in the World Trade Center on the same day. She felt a compelling urge to change her routine and take her child to school, a task usually handled by her husband. This slight alteration in her routine kept her away from the disaster that unfolded. Moving away from the 9/11's attack, let's look at a woman who was walking home late one night. She suddenly felt an overwhelming sensation of fear and decided to take a longer, well-lit path home. The next day she found out that a woman had been attacked on the route she would have taken. Our fourth story involves a man who was planning to invest a hefty sum into a business venture. Despite the promising returns, he felt a strong sense of unease. He decided to hold off and, soon after, the venture collapsed due to unforeseen circumstances. His intuition had saved him from a significant financial loss. Finally, we have a testimony from Serena Williams, the world-renowned tennis player. During a match against Emma Raducanu, despite being an experienced and highly skilled player, she felt that something wasn't right. She decided to transition away from tennis after that match, listening to her intuition, and it led her to explore new avenues and opportunities. These stories demonstrate the power of intuition and how it can potentially save lives. Now you might wonder, where does this intuition come from? Is it purely psychological, or is there a spiritual dimension to it? Well, it's not unusual for people to associate intuition with a higher power. In fact, many spiritual and religious traditions around the world advocate the idea of divine guidance. Think about it. How often have you heard phrases like God-given instinct or voice of the soul? These expressions all point to a spiritual dimension of intuition. Let's delve into Catholic theology for a moment. It suggests that our intuition can indeed be a form of divine guidance. In their teachings, they often refer to the interior voice, a quiet whisper that guides us towards truth and away from error. It's believed to be a way God communicates with us, nudging us towards decisions that align with our highest good. But it's not just Catholicism. Many religions, spiritual practices, and philosophical traditions acknowledge this concept. For instance, in Buddhism, intuition is considered a deep form of wisdom, one that goes beyond rational understanding. It's a kind of inner knowing that emerges when the mind is still and quiet. Some may argue that this is purely psychological, a result of subconscious processing. But what if the two aren't mutually exclusive? What if our subconscious mind is the very tool through which the divine communicates with us? Science and spirituality may seem like two opposing forces, but in the realm of intuition, they intertwine beautifully. After all, isn't the universe a blend of tangible and intangible, seen and unseen, known and unknown? So, whether you believe your gut feelings are the whisperings of the divine, the workings of your subconscious mind, or a blend of both, there's no denying that they hold immense power. They guide us, protect us, and often lead us to paths we wouldn't have consciously chosen. Regardless of our beliefs, it's clear that intuition holds a significant place in our lives. Let's look at more examples of intuition at work and discuss how to tune into it. Now consider the author on the website Still Small Voice Triage. They were about to rush into a project, but felt a spiritual check. Instead of dismissing it, they paused, prayed, and sought divine guidance. What they discovered was a need to prioritize spiritual preparedness over haste. Their intuition, their God-given gut feeling, saved them from potential pitfalls. Next, let's talk about Serena Williams, the tennis superstar. Remember when she lost to Emma Raducanu in the opening round of the Western and Southern Open? Many were surprised. But what if Serena's intuition was guiding her towards her next journey? She was transitioning away from tennis at the time. Perhaps her intuition was nudging her to accept this new phase of her life. Moving on, let's look at political circles. Republican House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy condemned 2 of his colleagues for attending a controversial event. There must have been a multitude of pressures, yet McCarthy chose to listen to his intuition, which told him that the event was appalling and wrong. His gut feeling led him to take a stand against something he believed was unacceptable. Now, it's not always easy to trust your intuition, especially when it goes against the grain. But it's important to remember that your intuition is a part of you. It's your inner compass, guiding you towards what feels right and away from what doesn't. How do you tune into it? Start by creating quiet moments in your day to connect with yourself. Reflect on your feelings and thoughts. If something doesn't feel right, don't dismiss it. Probe deeper. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What is my gut telling me? Trust that your intuition has your best interest at heart. Remember, your intuition is a powerful guide. It's crucial to trust it, especially when something doesn't feel right. So, how can we better harness this power within us? Well, the key lies in being open and receptive. It's about cultivating a mindfulness practice, taking quiet moments to just be, to listen to the whispers of your intuition. Meditate, let your thoughts flow freely, and pay attention to your emotions. They are often the language of your intuition. Practice patience. The answers may not come immediately, but in time, through quiet reflection, they will emerge. The courage to trust yourself is also essential. Your intuition is a part of you, a deep-seated wisdom that is uniquely yours. It's there to guide you, to help you navigate the twists and turns of life. Remember, it's okay to have doubts, it's okay to question, but don't let these cloud your inner voice. Learn to distinguish between fear and intuition. Fear is loud, disruptive, and rooted in the past or future, while intuition is subtle, calm, and centered in the present. As Albert Einstein said, the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Let's remember and honor this gift within us. If you enjoyed this video, we'd like you to give it a thumb up, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Goodbye and God bless.